So really quickly, I'm going to do a stream of consciousness that's going to sound like my Twitter feed, because it is. Yesterday's news was quick, simple, and right on point. So I just want to share with you what came in yesterday. First and foremost, my deepest condolences for the family members of the woman, BeanieAndre. So this is from Jay Simone. You guys know Jay Simone from the Good Life Morning Show. She said, "Hello, God's people. I really need all of your support and donation, including myself. Please don't only share, but donate. This is a devastating story, and we need to rally together as a community to help raise funds." BeanieAndre just came into the country 3 months ago from Haiti to seek a better opportunity. Sadly, her life was taken maliciously at the hands of gun violence in our city as she was walking and minding her business. As Haitian Americans, immigrants, we understand the struggle of Haiti and how dire it is to immigrate. To finally arrive and start making sense of this new world to only be gunned down, this is devastating and it's so unfair. Beanie leaves behind 7 children and a husband. She immigrated with 2 of the 7 children, and her husband is working 2 low-income jobs to support the family. Jay Simone said that she made her donation, and she's urging all of us to make one as well. Please challenge everyone not only to share, but to make a donation. 3 months in the country before you were gunned down. The woman who was shot was BeanieAndre, or I believe it's Benign, and this is horrible. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And then if we want to talk a little bit deeper about what's going on or what happened to Tiffany Martinez, she says she was publicly humiliated when her sociology professor at Suffolk University. Boston is all the way on the map. All the way. We were on the map for the MBTA and the smoke out that happened. If you guys don't know, I don't cover things that you probably already heard of a million times. What's the point in that repetition of nonsense? But Tiffany Martinez says she was publicly humiliated when her professor at Suffolk University in Boston accused her of plagiarizing. She didn't come out in Martin Luther King a whole paper. My baby used the word hence. Hence. Like, hence. And her teacher said, "This is not your word." I'm sorry, neither is and, the, if, they, to, we. That's not my word either. But I don't see you underlining, red marking, hence. This is not your word. That's what her teacher said. Suffolk University. This story has been international already. International. This little girl is getting all types of requests for interviews and questions. Trust me, TaylaAndre already put that name in the hat. In her online event called Academia, Love Me Back, the college senior said that she felt both disrespected and invalidated by the teacher's comments. "My last name and appearance immediately instills a set of bias before I have even had the chance to open my mouth. As a minority in my classroom, I continuously hear my peers and professors use language that both covertly and overtly oppress communities I belong to." Martinez says that she plans on entering a master's program in the fall and hopes to eventually become a professor herself. Concluding about the university, "Therefore, I do not always feel safe when I attempt to advocate for my people in these spaces." Suffolk University's sociology department did not return any calls to comment. But the school newspaper, Suffolk Journal, reported that the university's acting president and acting provost, that is a Black Law Dictionary lookup, sent an email to members of the community as an institution that was founded on the highest principles of oh Lord have mercy. Can we wake up today? Because Waking Up with TaylaAndre ain't here yet. As far as respect is concerned, we take this and such concerns extremely seriously. And it went on to say, long story short, we have people at Suffolk that are saying, listen, Tayla, this is they're not inclusive. They've never been inclusive. They went ahead and called that baby a plagiarist, a liar, and just sided with the teacher and then put out the statement to cover their behinds publicly because they didn't think it was going to get this big. It's a problem. Then, when I posted the story, do you know how many other people said, this is every day. This is every day. I went through this in high school. I went through this in college. I went through this every day of my college career. So this is a whole nother set of bias that we're not even discussing, that we're not even talking about as far as academia, love me back is concerned. It's heartbreaking. I want to remind you, if you've been on your job for 2 years, please, please, please inbox me. If you are even interested in learning more about purchasing a home, you can be a homeowner, baby. It doesn't matter how much debt you have. We can fix that. That can be repaired. Stop living off your Section 8 and let's get a house for yourself so you can not only live in your own home, but actually rent it out. Inbox me, TaylaAndre. Shout out to Alex E. Edwards. Shout out to Thumbprint Realty. I am really excited to work with them in this partnership to get as many people possible in the city of Boston to become homeowners immediately. It's a 90-day challenge to help people get into a home immediately using the programs that Boston residents have available to them but have no idea are available. The former MBTA employee gets 2.6 in a racial discrimination suit. Michelle worked for the MBTA for 13 years and was terminated. A federal jury has awarded more than $2.6 million to a former Boston Transit worker who said she was a victim of racial discrimination when she was fired in 2013. She had 13 years on the job when she was terminated. She said in her suit that she was subjected to years of demeaning and insulting remarks from white supervisors who punished white workers less severely. The T said that she was fired after a series of disciplinary actions. The agency officials said that the incident that led her to her termination was the accumulation of year-long feud between her and a Haitian American woman over a man. The MBTA spokeswoman said in a statement to the Globe that it disagrees with the verdict and will appeal. I hope that baby's able to keep all of her money. All 2.5 and maybe less than that, because we already know those attorney fees are no joke. In other news, we have an amazing day today as far as Power Hour is concerned. We're going to break down one of the Massachusetts ballot questions. The Community Preservation Act. So a lot of us don't even know what that is, and we didn't even cover it the day that we went over the book. So we are going to discuss that today, and we'll lightly go over questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we are going to discuss question 5 today, and I am really excited for that. In other news, really quickly,
Want to cut college costs up to 49%? Earn your associate degree at any Massachusetts community college and then transfer to a UMass or state university to get a bachelor's degree. The new Commonwealth commitment. Visit mass.edu/MAComCom. Start your future at Mass Bay, the #1 community college in
This is like
Massachusetts. Top-notch
something
faculty,
so
small
wrong.
case, and a focus on your
So
success.
wrong
Quality
with this
education at a
story. A
fraction
mother,
of the
24
cost.
years old,
Start
and her
here. Go
boyfriend
anywhere.
charged
Learn
with
more at
injecting heroin
massbay.edu/macomcom.
into 3 children and calling it sleeping juice. The home was infested
At
with
this point,
needles and
Boston
rat
police say the
droppings.
woman it killed here was
The
an
woman is
innocent bystander
charged
just
with
caught in the
injecting her
middle
children
of
with
violence
heroin.
here in
Child
Dorchester. If you
protective
take a look at the
officers were
scene here, you
alerted
can
to the
see
house
at
by her
this point,
friend last
investigators
year.
still
They found 3
processing
of
it.
the
They're about
children
to
covered
tow
in
a car
scratches,
away
bruises,
from the area
markings.
where
The
this
home
happened. This is
in
Washington Street
Spanaway,
at the
Washington
corner
was
of
infested with
Washington and
rat
Moore
droppings.
Street, kind
Her
of in
2-year-old
front of an
daughter's hair
area with
follicles tested
several
positive for
multi-family kind of
drugs.
homes here.
Her
Commissioner
6-year-old
William
son said
Evans
they were
telling us
given
that the
it
intended target was
after
a
being
teenager
choked.
who was also
Hunt and
injured but
boyfriend
is expected
told
to
them it
survive.
was
That
feel-good
woman, though, who
medicine
was,
and
again, just in
sleeping
the wrong
juice.
place at the
This is
wrong
real
time,
life, baby.
died from her
This
injuries.
is real
She
life for
has
these
not been
children.
identified. We
A
only know that
judge
she
hears an
is a
ex-house
woman in
speaker
her 30s. You can take a
request for
look
a
now at some
compassionate
of the
release.
scene from
He
earlier. You can
was
see, again,
sentenced to
this has been
5. He
going on for a
served.
while since a little bit
He was
later,
sentenced to
late
7.
this
He served
afternoon.
5.
The
They
teenager,
want
who
him
again
to
was the
get
intended
released
target that is expected to
because of his
survive, has
health.
not been
I want to give a
identified.
huge shout
Again,
out to
neither has
Don
that
Core because
woman
I
who
was
was
thinking
shot
it, but
and
he was the
killed.
first one
Just
to
again, a
actually
woman in
text
her
it.
30s.
He said
And
if
at this
they
point,
let
again,
Speaker
an active
Demasi out on
investigation, no
compassionate release,
suspects,
then
no
they need to
arrests.
do the
We will
same
continue
for
to bring you
all
the
the
latest
homies.
information as soon as we
Hashtag
can.
white
Reporting
privilege,
live in the
hashtag
Dorchester neighborhood of
equality,
Boston,
hashtag
Alicia
equity.
Rodriguez, NECN.
I don't care how sick you are. They're not letting Whitey Bulger out. The hell they gonna let you? Oh, Jesus. I can't. I can't. You know that girl on the Facebook, right? I can't. I really can't let him out because he's sick. Do you know how many people in jail are sick right now? Sick to their stomach, missing their family, missing their friends, sick to their stomach because they're only in jail because they can't afford bail. Y'all done got it all the way twisted. There is something wrong with this world. There is a vigil in March. Hashtag justice for Terrence Coleman. I'm so sick of these damn hashtags. Wednesday, today at 6:30, starting at Peters Park in South End near Sharman Ave and Dwight Street. Please bring candles and flowers. Mass action against police brutality condemns the Boston police for shooting and killing 31-year-old black man Terrence Coleman on October 30th, 2016, and demands the officers be immediately arrested and charged for his murder. I don't necessarily always agree with VOG. VOG and I are two completely different sides of the fence when it comes to many things. But one of the things that we can agree on is if the police did not show up, they got a call for a patient on meds with mental health issues, and if cops do not show up with a taser, a nightstick, and pepper spray, it is premeditated murder. VOG, shout out to VOG, because this is somewhere where we sit on the same side of the fence. He said if an EMT gets a call for a patient on meds with mental health issues and police show up without tasers, without nightsticks, without pepper spray, it is premeditated murder. And I said this the other day. TaylaAndre can't walk into a mental health clinic and say, I'm finna give y'all services. So why, and people that speak, police officer that speaks Russian can't go to a household that speaks Spanish. So why on earth would you send police officers equipped with their gun to go in for a call on a mental health client, patient? You are to protect and serve, not kill and say, I was attacked. Mama said that's a bold-faced lie. My baby never had a knife. They were never wrestling. The police ran in and shot at my baby. When I went ahead and posted that story on Facebook, I can't tell you how many people were writing, I known the family for years. He was never violent. In the 10 years I was a neighbor. In the 22 years I knew Miss Hope. Like, everybody coming up, like, I've never known him to be violent. Apparently the last time he had a violent episode was 10 years ago. I don't know. I do want to give a huge shout out to Anonymous. Anonymous said, please give a shout out to the parent advocates and other stakeholders who came out last night to stand up for their children's education and to fight for it. The closing of the Manor Heights School is a level 4 and very close to being taken over by the state. It was very well attended. Russell Holmes was there. Andrea Campbell was there. And there, an our state rep from the 12th Suffolk was present. Also, Anissa George was there. Representatives from Presley's office was there. Also, believe it or not, Tim McCarthy, a.k.a. the Invisible City Councilor, was there as well. What can we do but show up? I want to make a comment, but we need to get past the ballot. All of this anger and all of this fight amongst parents, amongst friends, with students about question 6, I feel like we keep missing the point. Because this one question is charter versus district, give us the money, right? That's what we're seeing right now. The overall bigger picture, charter versus district, you're stealing our money. But I want us to broaden our conversation about question 2, because one of the things that's not in question is how are we actively today, and how have we been in the past being mindful of our children's education? How are we mindful of the way that the Boston Teachers Union acts when we demand things for our children? Like, I'm so sick and tired of question 2. Big old no signs, big old yes signs. People are asking me, Tayla, where do you stand? Oh, I bet you're going to vote yes because the kids are in charter school. I don't agree with charter school. I don't believe in privatized education. I think right now, charter schools are, what are those called? Cinches? Are they cinches? When, for instance, if you break an arm or you break a leg, stitches, and you just have something temporarily until you get to a doctor, until you get to a medic, so you go ahead and you tie something around the broken arm or the broken leg, you keep it there, you put a stick on it so it stays. Like, I really don't understand. It's a temporary fix to an ongoing problem. And if you know your history, if you know your Boston history, if you know your charter school history, if you know your MECO history, you already know that question 2 is nothing but a farce of adults just fighting. Adults that can't get right. It's not about you. It's about these kids. I could go on the soapbox when it comes to these children for hours, when it comes to this education for hours, and I don't understand why we as adults don't understand that whatever we're fighting for today, our children are not benefiting from. We are not benefiting from. We are setting up the future for our grandchildren. That's the truth. The truth of the matter is, our children aren't going to see any of our efforts today. It's the truth. I hate to admit it to you. If no one ain't told you, let me tell you. These efforts are not for us. They're not for our children. Unless you have a kindergartner. There's so much going on in North Dakota. I'm so glad that we've been on top of the hashtag no dapple, hashtag no pipelines through sacred lands. I'm so glad we've been on this movement before it was a movement, before people started heading to North Dakota, before celebrities started posting about North Dakota. Shout out to Queen Yanazdaha for keeping us informed about what's going on. If you don't know what's going on in North Dakota, if you don't know what's going on with the pipeline, let me help you understand.
It is right now with us, with the water situation, because anything could happen, and it's like, what if they come in and try to take us off, and besides that, everybody should have water. I mean, God gave it to the land, and We have a right to it. He didn't give it to the United States government. We've got a bigger point than that. We're saying, we're talking about law. We're talking about respect as a people. Respecting a people as a people. We're talking about more than poverty. We're talking about honor. We're saying, you've never dealt with us honorably, United States, ever. And it's time that you start doing so, because we're not going to allow it to continue. We can't. Problems for the Indian people are within the United States government. Problems that we're having is the federal government is allowing the state government to break a treaty that was signed between the Indians and the Indian people and the federal government. And that treaty is a law. We're talking about things like this. We're talking about, if we're free, we want the right to make our own decisions. We don't want the great white father image anymore looking down on us, making the decision for us. And we're concerned about people, the reservation people, people on the reservations that are being forced to assimilate or die out. We're worried about things like our language and our culture. And we want this on our own terms. We don't want to be able to hang on to it because the federal government says we can keep this much and we can keep that much. It's part of us. We want it all.
I stand up, you're welcome to sit. I'll be here if you get to jump in if you need to. Okay, but and it's CPA, Community Preservation Act, right?
Yep.